It all starts with an argument between a boy and some annoying guys, until we realize a mysterious figure took pity on him, offering him a juice, and then running away. A year later, we meet Na, a very reserved high school girl. One day at school, she witnesses a fight between some boys and a red-haired boy named Taiga. During the altercation, Taiga ends up falling on top of Na, creating an awkward situation that makes her think deeply. In another classroom scene, some classmates start teasing her, but Kaio, another student, defends her. Suddenly, Taiga enters the room. Everyone falls silent in front of him as he asks Na to meet him behind the school. When he leaves, everyone starts whispering about him because he's the school's bad boy. At the appointed time, the two meet, and surprising everyone, Taiga gives Na a bouquet of flowers, saying he wants to marry her. Na doesn't want to, as she dislikes delinquents, but ends up accepting out of fear. Later, she goes to her uncle's cafe, where we discover he took care of her after her parents' death. She's not romantically interested in her uncle. The next day, as she leaves for school, pondering how to get rid of Taiga, he's already waiting for her in front of her house. But wait, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next recaps. Continuing at school, everyone is surprised to see them together, the shy girl and the bad boy. They sit in the courtyard, and Taiga tastes the snack she prepared, complimenting it and revealing that her dream is to be a chef. Taiga says she's happy she has a dream, but doesn't understand why he's interested in her. Then he confesses that he really likes her, that he always has, and that she's the only one who matters to him. She thinks about this a lot as they walk together. The next day, she's again ridiculed by her classmates, but Kaio defends her again, even though he doesn't appear to be Na's friend. It seems Kaio just doesn't like people talking without knowledge. Upon arriving home, Na sees her uncle talking to a woman and is naturally jealous. However, after looking at some photos at home, she discovers that the woman was a former co-worker of her uncle's and begins to understand his efforts to open the coffee shop and have more time for her, since he had to leave his previous job. The next day, their classes are canceled because the group is going to camp. They have to form a group of 4 and end up with Kaio and a boy named Misaki. It turns out that Misaki was the guy Taiga initially fought with. At camp, Misaki, an anime fan, is reading a manga. After looking at some photos at home, he discovers that the woman was an old co-worker of his uncle's. She understands the effort he put into opening the coffee shop and having more time for her, since he had to leave his previous job. The next day, their classes are adjusted because the class is going camping. They form a group of 4, joining Akayo and a boy named Misak. It turns out that Misak was the guy Taiga fought with at the beginning of the camp. Misak, an anime fan, is reading a manga when some annoying guys start teasing him and throw his amulet into the water. He jumps in to get it, but he can't swim, and Taiga saves him. As they emerge from the water, Taiga says he doesn't need friends, but Misak assures him that Taiga will be his friend. In the end, they reject the idea of friendship, but upon returning to camp, Taiga realizes she forgot her jacket. He asks Na to pick her up, but she gets lost and enters a dark tunnel. She begins to experience painful memories from her childhood, from the time she lost her parents, and panics, screaming Sue's name. Taiga finds her and calms her down, and she apologizes for scaring her. He says it's okay, and that he should apologize for trying to be with her, since she likes someone else. She then tells him that her parents died, and that she's in love with her uncle. Taiga suggests they become friends to stay in touch. The next day, he tells Misak that he was rejected, and is now friends with Nal. Misak tells Kaio the same thing, who seems somewhat relieved, but Taiga doesn't feel the same way. He's confused by the idea of just being friends with her. That night, he gathers courage and texts her asking if they can study together the next day. The next day, when Na arrives at school, she sees Kaio arriving with a bad boy-style guy on a motorcycle and is surprised. She's not the only one surprised. Later, she and Taiga study together, and she ends up falling asleep. He kisses her, which surprises her. He apologizes and runs off. Then they introduce a new classmate who she was transferred to Miav, who is very similar to Anal, as she also struggles to socialize. Her classmates make jokes, but Taiga approaches her as a friend. They start having lunch together, which sparks Nal's jealousy, as she observes everything. Later, she sees Taiga chasing after Miav at school, saying nice things to cheer her up and make her feel better about others. Meanwhile, Miav's classmates continue to make fun of her, and Nal also discovers Taiga's problems with his mother, which led him to act impulsively and get into trouble. Taiga's words resonate, and Miav finally manages to make friends. Anal sees this whole situation and becomes jealous, but she's not the only one. Misak also notices everything. He then talks to Anal, who reveals that she feels uncomfortable with Taiga and Miav's closeness. She recognizes that Taiga is a great person and that the fight they witnessed earlier was because Taiga was defending Misak. She realizes Taiga's love for her and what he did for her. After thanking Misak, she runs to find Taiga. Upon arriving at the classroom, she finds him with Miav. Without hesitation, she declares that she likes him and is jealous. Luckily, Miav clarifies that he is just a friend and reassures her. Then Na expresses her desire to be with him. Taiga is surprised and hugs her. Over time, the two spend quality time together. When Taiga's big test arrives, he asks Na to arrange a meeting with her uncle so he can talk to him alone. Terrified, Taiga asks Sue for permission to date Na, promising to take care of her even if it costs her life. Sue doesn't really like the idea because if he dies, he won't be able to protect her properly. Logical, right? In the end, Sue doesn't approve because he finds his answer too stupid. Taiga leaves heartbroken because when Anal arrives, Sue says she doesn't accept their relationship. She goes after her boyfriend, and later we see Sue reflecting on the sacrifices he made to raise Anal, a difficult task since he didn't even know how to cook or handle a child. He's angry and doesn't say anything to her. That night, Anal can't sleep and sees her uncle talking to a former co-worker who's presenting a new project for him to join and pursue his dreams. She finally understands that the idea for the coffee shop wasn't his, but that he was forced into it to have more time for her. She feels bad and angry that he couldn't pursue his dreams because of her, but Sue doesn't care, because his happiness lies in seeing Anal's smile. The next day, while they're out for a walk, Taiga tells Anal that she intends to talk to Sue to try to work things out. They find Kaio's boyfriend kissing another girl. Taiga recognizes the guy from the fight and starts teasing them, since that fight was Taiga defending Miske from the bad boys' colleagues. The fight almost breaks out, but in the end, nothing happens. Later, we see Taiga with Kaio, who is hurt. Kaio seems so in love that she's blinded by love. She fights with all her friends and leaves. We understand that she knows the bad boy is with other girls, but only pays attention to herself. Meanwhile, Anal receives a message from Kaio asking to save her, giving an address that turns out to be a trap. Taiga receives a message from the bad boy saying he's having fun again at his workshop, rushes there but finds Miske beforehand and tells him everything. Miske warns So, while Taiga runs desperately thinking about the good times with Anal, and that she would give anything to defend her. He arrives at the workshop and the bad boy, full of rage, starts beating Taiga. Taiga decides not to retaliate, so the guy can let go of his anger but asks him to let Anal go. The bad boy, after beating Taiga, is attacked by Miske, who throws hot sauce at him. The guy, who appears to be a coward, runs away because he doesn't like spice. Anal manages to escape, and Miske goes to the bad boy's house to look for Kaio, who appears to have been kidnapped. After the situation calms down, Anal finally thanks her uncle for everything he did for her, and says it's time for him to pursue his own dreams. Make his dreams come true, since she has someone to protect her. Taiga says she'll take care of her, that she'll welcome her every day. But in reality, she was the one who saved him. Because the boy in the fight at the beginning, in the rain, was him, and the person who gave him the umbrella and the juice was Anna. This touched his heart. Afterward, he goes home and apologizes to his mother for being an idiot because he felt alone. But now he has something to fight for. Eventually, Anna rides her bike to school and he accompanies her, just like he did when she was little. He tells her not to think that her dreams were ruined and that just seeing her smile makes him happy. He lets her go and remembers the time when she was little, but now she's with Taiga. The two stroll through the city and go to the beach, where they share a romantic moment. In the end, he collects 108 points to buy a bouquet of flowers and propose to her. It seems like it took him 9 years to accumulate 108 points, but in the end, he proposes, and they are both happy. And that concludes our recap for today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to subscribe, activate the bell, like, and comment on what you thought of this drama. While you're at it, watch the video that's showing up on the screen.